Welcome to the American Freethinker, live Sundays, 6 p.m. YouTube, Facebook. Today's topic, immigration and illegal immigration. Now, before I get started, I had a problem with my multi-streaming, of course. Remember, this isn't a professional outfit. It's just me in my house. So things can go wrong. Also, the starting time will be 6 instead of 5 on Sundays because I may have to work some Sundays and need a little extra time. But before I get going, because of the problems with my multi-streaming platform, I had to set up a new one. So that is why it's such a late start. What I need to do is make sure it's working. Problems with my multi. So what I need platform.
It looks like Facebook is looking pretty good.
One. So that is why it's
Now
such
remember,
a late start. This is a live. What I need to do is make sure it's working. The phone number I will go ahead and write down here real quick. So what I need,
so you can go ahead.
It looks like Facebook
is looking
pretty
good.
Anytime. So that is why it's
now
such
remember,
a late start. This is a
I think
live. What I need to do is make sure it's working. Let's see if that's phone number. I will go ahead and write down here real quick. So what I need,
so you can go ahead.
Anyone's in here.
Facebook is looking
pretty
pretty
good.
good.
Let me know if everything's working good. Now remember, this is a live audio. Video is okay. It's working.
Seem to be getting some
Let's
of
see if
the
that's phone number. I will go ahead and write down here real quick.
Makes
So what I need.
So
double
you
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Anyone's in here.
Facebook is looking
pretty
pretty
good.
good.
Let me know if everything's working good. Now remember, this is a live audio. Video is okay. It's working. 4-8.
Getting some of
See
the
5 phone number 7. I will go ahead and write down here real quick.
So what I need.
So double go ahead. Anyone's in here.
Facebook is looking
pretty
pretty
good.
good.
Let me know if everything's working good. Now remember, this is a live audio. Is okay. It's working. Show podcast. 5 phone number 7. I will go ahead and write down here real quick. So what I need. So that you double go ahead. Anyone's in here. Facebook is looking pretty good. Let me know if everything's working good. Now remember, this is a live audio. Is okay. Show podcast. 5 phone number 7. I will go ahead and write down here real quick. So what I need. Also, go ahead. Anyone's in here. Facebook is looking pretty good. Let me know if everything's working good. Now remember, this is a live audio. Is okay. Show podcast. 5 phone number 7. I will go ahead and write down here real quick. So what I need. Also, go ahead. Anyone's in here. Facebook is looking pretty good. Let me know if everything's working good. Now remember, this is a live audio. Is okay. Show podcast. 5 phone number 7. I will go ahead and write down here real quick. So what I need. Also, go ahead. Anyone's in here. Facebook is looking pretty good. Let me know if everything's working good. Now remember, this is a live audio. Is okay. Show podcast. 5 phone number 7. I will go ahead and write down here real quick. So what I need. Also, go ahead. Anyone's in here. There. How about now? If someone can go ahead and text and let me know that everything's good, feedback, echo, anything like that, let me know. I think I fixed it. There's the phone number, 810-348-5807. What I do at the beginning of every show is I first talk about what the show is, the purpose of it, and which I just did. And I think I'm going to go ahead and get going because it looks like the video and the audio is pretty good. Like I said before, this is strictly a topics-based podcast. I started it because I just needed to get things off my chest. I got sick and tired of trying to actually discuss and chat with people on Facebook because people tend to have Facebook muscle, Facebook strength. They tend to be able to just leave and say whatever and not continue back and forth with the normal conversation. I got annoyed with that. I got annoyed with trying to listen to radio shows where you get maybe 30 seconds to a minute and there's not actual dialogue. I like dialogue. And so I started this in hopes that maybe there are people out there like me that, well, they're not silly enough to make fools of themselves enough to actually start a podcast to get the proper or the good information out there, but maybe they'll actually call in and talk to me on my show. So that's why I started it. The phone number again, 810-348-5807. If you want to chat, I may or may not see it. Once I get going, it's not easy for me to turn and look at the chats to see how things are going. But it looks like everything's going good. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive right in to the topics. Now, how I consider myself and what I like to do is critical thinking skills is what I rely on. I don't like the Republican, the Democrat, the left, the right. I like individual topics. And I think that's what we've gotten away from. We just talk about all the silly things that the news throws out there, and we're supposed to just kind of listen to it. I want to talk about the individual topics with critical thinking skills, logic, ration, stop calling names, stop making it so antagonistic, and just have a conversation. Like it's me, it's you, across from a table at a bar, having some drinks, solving the country's problems. We've all done it. That's what this show is. It's not professional. I don't have an English degree. I'm not perfect in grammar. It's not going to be perfect, but I'm just going to have fun. And eventually, I hope that there will be enough people out there that actually want to talk politics. Might actually want to call in and get something off their chest. Maybe they want to say something. Now, you don't have to stick to my topics today, immigration and illegal immigration. You don't have to. If you want to, great. The overarching, like I said, not perfect in grammar, idea is, why do people out there still vote Democrat? That is truly my question. I don't mean that in a nasty, antagonistic, put you in a corner sort of way. What I mean by that is this. I truly believe that most people out there, like me, just hardworking, go to work every day, you have your family, you have your friends, you tend to not want to get bothered by things. The political scheme is this, it's so corrupt and it's just so bad, and you just want to argue and scream at each other. What I'm trying to do is get people who vote for Democrats. I believe 80% of you out there truly believe the same I do, with little variations on most topics, like abortion, like feminism, like gun control, like taxation. I truly believe you do. So therefore, we need to have the conversation on each topic. And that's why I'm bringing topic-based. Anywhere from abortion to the federal budget. Everything in between. And I'll talk about everything. That's why I started with the hot topics from the get-go. Race and poverty. Abortion. Welfare. The hot topics. Why? And this will be my theme. You'll get it. You'll understand it quick. It's all fake. It truly is all fake. We are being played by the people who want to rule us. Our politicians. They're corrupt. We all know that. And so they're all fake arguments. It's fake issues. Okay? What they do, the Democrat Party, they have their, and I'm going to do this real quick, and I probably think every podcast I pretty much have to point this out, because every topic is the same thing. Democrat Party, they get their, what I call overlords, their extremists that are out there. Here's the groups. We need as many groups as possible to vote for us. How do we get them to vote for us? Well, you get them upset. You get them outraged. You make them hate the Republican Party. And if you do that, you get to drive around in limousines. You get to fly around in private jets. You get to be with us in these big meals and have all this money. You know, the Jesse Jacksons, the Al Sharptons, and no, I do not call them reverends. Those are the leaders of the political machine founded by the Democrat Party way back when. Okay? So all of my topics are based under that umbrella. With these topics and the fact that if you really think about it, we probably agree on most of them, why do you still vote for such an extremist party? Democrat Party has always been the extremist party. The Republican Party has always kind of been there just to kind of stop them from going too far. Okay? For example, Democrat Party founded for not only to get immigration, the immigrants that came in, but also to have slavery. They were the party of slavery. Then they were the party of the Civil War. As I explained in the America topic, it's not America that started the Civil War. It's not America that has the racism or had slavery. It was the Democrat Party. And every single person that had slaves was Democrat Party. It's a fact. They started the war. The Democrats, they started the war, not the South. Okay? The Southern people, the soldiers, fought because they told them we had to fight because the North was stopping their rights. It was the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party that stopped, that started the KKK, Jim Crow laws, and there was no big switch. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and stop there because every single podcast I end up explaining that Democrat Party, but I think I need to because bit by bit I hope that I'll start getting more and more people in here. More and more people. Maybe someone might actually call and have something they want to talk about. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and switch right to the topics. A little flustered today because, I was supposed to start at 6 and it just got all screwed up. I had to have a whole new platform for multi-streaming, so here we go. Immigration. First thing. First, before I get going, let me go ahead and make sure everything's working still. Phone number 810-348-5807. It's in the comment section if you're interested. So, immigration. Yes. 2 topics. That's what I usually do for each podcast. This one just happens to be 2 completely different topics. Not even close. And that's immigration and illegal immigration. Now, they try to conflate the two. They try to get them together. Sometimes they'll say immigration. Sometimes Democrat Party, they tend to, in the media, tend to not want to say illegal immigration. They have many different undocumented visitors, whatever. But they are 2 totally different subjects, and I'm going to treat them as such. And again, these are my opinions based on thousands of hours of listening to debates. That's what I do. I'm a truck driver. I drive 10 hours a day. That's all I have is I listen to debates, podcast debates. I listen to Joe Rogan's. I listen to the Dan Bonginos. When I want to take it easy, I listen to Nick DiPaolo or maybe even an Owen Benjamin type. But the ones that I like the best are the debate ones, where they're at a college and they start debating. You have a pro-immigration, a pro-illegal immigration, open borders person versus someone who is actually for instance, the wall or for stopping illegal immigration. That's how you learn. You learn by debating with people. You learn by discussing things. You do not learn when you're in an echo chamber. And that's generally the problem with most Democrats and some Republicans, obviously, conservatives. They tend to just listen to their side. And that's something that Facebook loves to do. You're pretty much only going to hear what you keep asking for, which is why I'm doing this and not debating on it no more. First, immigration. And you'll know right from the get-go. If this is the first time you've listened to it, if you're not listening to it live and you happen to just run by it when it's on YouTube or Facebook, remember, this is a live show. Sundays, pretty much 6 p.m. It's a call-in show. Just remember that. 810-348-5807. It's in the chat. The first thing, I do not write up a show. I'm not Ben Shapiro, okay? It's not going to be perfect, all right? But I didn't want it that way. I wanted to be able to just discuss it, like I'm me and you across from the table. So it's not going to be perfectly in order. I'm just going to rant. That's what I'm going to do. Get it off my chest. If you want to rant, call in. First thing about immigration, I'm going to go with, and the distinction between the two is you have immigration people who do it the proper way. They actually want to come in. They come into this country because they love the freedom and the idea of America. Remember, America is an idea, okay? It's based on freedom. You can say the free market, capitalism, rule of law, but most important is property, okay? And immigrants that come here legally, they sign documents. They wait for years. They come here and go to college. Whatever it is they do, they come here legally, and then they stay here. And most of them actually get naturalized eventually. That is immigration. And yes, there is an argument that we need to slow that down. We need to stop that a little bit because we're having a problem with assimilation. So I have completely different views as far as illegal immigrants. My immigration thoughts, such as, well, I'm not DACA, that's an illegal immigration situation, but the immigrant idea that I have, or the thoughts that I've had, the arguments that I've been hearing, and again, they try to conflate the two. Immigrants that come here for a reason, and they want to become Americans, because they love the freedom of America, they're here, they become naturalized, I'm good with that. It should definitely be merit-based. And I don't know how anyone could possibly argue the fact that immigration should be merit-based. In most of the countries, that's how it is. Common sense, logic. Okay, use your critical thinking skills. Why would you want people here that don't at least have somewhat of the same ideas and culture that you have? People that want to be here and they want to assimilate. That is the big word. Back when we first started with immigrants, when they first started coming in through the New York, okay, and they would come in here, they would assimilate. They were from mostly westernized countries anyways, but they came here and they struggled. They struggled hard. Every group that came in here, every group, Irish, Scottish, from Britain, they all, when they came in here, Germans, they struggled. But they made it. And they assimilated. And they became Americans. Over time, that happened. Then we stopped immigration. Because, well, for instance, we were full. All right? They stopped it. And then what happened was they picked it back up. And I believe it was Ted Kennedy, that started the bill and signed it in, and we started bringing in immigrants from all over the world. And it stopped coming from Western countries. They started coming more from other nations that didn't have that same Western values that we did. Okay? That's where the problem comes in. And I'll probably have a separate podcast on multiculturalism and diversity and the lie that is diversity and multiculturalism, because they came in, like I said, the initial ones, they came in, they assimilated. When the new ones came in the 70s, they stopped assimilating. And it was the Democrat Party, knowing that they were losing the black vote. Okay? They knew they were losing the black vote, And they were losing the Southern white vote because the Southern whites were sick and tired of the racism in the Democrat Party. They knew they were losing that. So then they started saying, well, let's bring all the immigrants in for more votes. Okay? And they stopped assimilating. And we've had this huge influx. And I'm going to say up in the 21 million illegal range. But even the regular people that came in, even legally, stopped assimilating. And that's when the multiculturalism problem occurred. That's when you have two groups of people, the Western culture or American culture even more, and then you have other people that are different cultures, and they clash. And that's where we have our problems. That's why my belief is we need to even slow down regular immigration. Not stop it. It's got nothing to do with race. Don't believe the talking points. Don't believe the media. Don't believe the Democrat Party. Don't believe the radicals. It has nothing to do with race. It has everything to do with we need to keep America strong. And the only way you do that is by having a similar culture. And as long as the immigrants that we allow in, we bring in the ones we need, whatever it is. I mean, if we have a shortage of doctors, which I don't think we have, then we bring in doctors. You want to come to school here to be a doctor? Go ahead. As long as everything's good, as long as you become naturalized, as long as you're American loving and freedom loving, and you believe in property ownership and you believe in freedom of speech and all our laws, welcome. Everything's great. You assimilated. Someday, if we need an influx of manufacturer workers, which right now I believe we have like 2 million extra jobs, whatever those jobs are, merit-based. Come on in. But that's it. We don't have to. We bring in more people than any other country in this world. Any other country. We bring in more immigrants. We just have. But yet they still complain that we don't have open borders, that we want to build a wall, that we want to stop people that don't believe in our culture from coming in. It's just silly. Stop believing the hype. Okay? Stop believing the talking points. So that's the immigration. Okay, that's regular immigration. And I don't want to get in much into the multiculturalism, and that'll probably be my next podcast, and because that's a whole subject in itself, how it's just been a lie. It's diversity of thought, and I know I hate using talking points. Diversity of thought, not diversity of, but anyways, it's a whole nother. So I'm going to go to illegal immigration. Move on to that. Let's make sure we're still going good. Looks like the video's live. Facebook looks good. YouTube looks good. Phone number 810-348-5807. Let me take a drink of water. I used to actually have a beginning to my podcast where I would have an audio where I would kind of copy it so it comes in. It's more professional. I used to have music. Songs that I love, good, strong American songs, but then Facebook decided to block that video because the song hurt the feelings of people that weren't American. I guess that's what they said on there. It was kind of silly. Anyways, illegal immigration. Love this topic. Completely, when you talk to people who are open borders, or they actually are, if you talk to just a normal people out here, you and me, the normal Joe, most people can agree that illegal immigration needs to be stopped. It needs to be slowed down. Whether or not the ones that are here, that we need to get rid of and send them back, the whole DACA issue, that's another subject. It gets a little touchy. Now, if you want to talk the politician side of it, the whole subject changes. It's got nothing to do with what's best for the people. It's got nothing to do with what's best for the country. The Democrat Party needs that vote. Their goal is to keep getting more and more illegal immigration in. Eventually, like Obama tried with DACA, get them all to be regular citizens. Instantly, boom, they have themselves 20 million new voters. And if you realize that the biggest landslide in votes, I think in the modern history, is like 17 million votes, and they can get instantly 20 million voters on their side, they win. That's their goal. Only because of votes. That's the way it's been for the Democrat Party. The things they say, like the DACA, they pull at your heartstrings. These people were already, these kids came in and they didn't do anything wrong themselves. They were forced in. What do you want them to do? Well, that's what they try to do. Let me jump forward and get right to the point with the illegal immigration as far as stopping them coming in. Yes, of course, we need to build a wall. Not even a question. When they try to argue with you about, well, what about a wall? It doesn't work. Walls don't work. If you build a 30-foot wall, they'll just sell a lot of 31-foot ladders. I don't even understand how they come up with these arguments. The wall won't work. They'll come in other ways. The drugs are coming in through the actual. They try to come up with numbers that the drugs actually come through the regular ways, and so then you ask them, well, how do you know the drugs aren't coming through the open areas if we don't know they're coming through? Oops, sorry. So yes, we have to build the wall. We have to get everything. Build the wall. More people on the border. More judges to make sure we can go through when they come through and they want to come in and they say they're in trouble in their other countries. Drones. Build a moat on the other side with fire-breathing dragons. I don't care. Stop the illegal immigration. Instantly. You have to do that first. We all know that. Now, once we know that we're not going to have, I think we're averaging 100,000 a month coming through illegally. And there's no way to house them. So when they come through, what do we do with them? So they made little laws. The Democrats, they're so good at they're smart. I tell you what, they're smart. They know how to get things done. Republican, most of them just kind of sit back and, oh yeah. Oh, and by the way, plenty of Republicans want to keep the legal coming in as well because of the cheap labor. This is the corporations. It's sick, I know, but they basically are okay with serfdom, and it's bad. Again, I know I'm talking in circles. I'm trying to keep it straight. First, they're coming through. The bad part about that. Second, stop them. Third, the ones that are here. Okay, so the ones that are coming through, they make little laws that say you can only hold them for so long. It's just not right. You can only hold them for so long. And you can't rip them, the children away from the parents. And oh my God, it's so bad. They're holding them in dog cages and they're cold and they make it sound so horrible. And then they won't let even the more judges to go down there, and they stop everything you try to do to even help these people. They stop it because they got to make the average person, the person that still votes Democrat, they have to make them think that the Republican Party are just evil, they're racist, they're misogynist, whatever it is. They want to make sure that they hate the Republicans. So therefore, it's the poor children that are being stopped. It's the mothers. What are you going to do? Well, guess what? If they break the law, they come in illegally, they break the law, you send them back. Now, if they have to stay because they think they have a right to come here because they're being harassed at their other country, or they're going to be killed for political reasons and all that, fine. But how can you argue about what to do with the children? If Americans break the law and they go to jail, I've never heard, maybe I missed it, I've never heard an outcry of people saying, but what about the children? What about the children of these people that are going into jail? What if they don't have grandparents to take care of, or aunts or uncles? They have to go into the foster care program. I've never heard that as a debate. Now all of a sudden, we have illegals coming through. They come through, it's illegal, they want a court hearing. What are we supposed to do with the kids? Now all of a sudden it's a problem. Now all of a sudden we're evil Americans. Now all of a sudden we're horrible because we're somehow separating them. Well, guess what? They broke the law. Guess what? Don't come up here and try to come into our country illegally if you don't want your kids taken from you. How about that? And sent back. How about that? It's your fault. You came through illegally. Okay. Side note, I actually don't have a problem with the illegals coming across. The personal issue. If I lived in Mexico and I had my family and things weren't all that good, I'd be trying to come through America as well. I would be trying to come here. If I can't get through legally, I would try to come illegally. I almost don't blame them. What I blame is the Democrat Party saying, come on in, come on in, come on up here. And they have lawyers there saying, say this to the judge, say this to the judge. You'll get put in a holding for 20 days. You'll get set free and you never have to come back. 90% of them plus do not come back for the hearings. They want the problem, okay? So right back to the beginning. Stop them from coming in. Do not let them come in. The wall, putting men on the boots on the ground, drones, a moat with fire-breathing dragons. I don't care. Once we've got that coming to where we don't have these hundreds of thousands coming through with the drugs and everything else, now we can deal with the ones that are here illegally. That actually is a good argument. They actually have it. They can come up with a decent argument with what do you do with the, I'm going to say 20 plus million illegals here. Okay, you've got the anchor baby problem that happened all these years where they come in, once they get on this side, they give birth, boom, that child somehow is now a citizen. I don't know how. I guarantee you that's not in the Constitution, that child all of a sudden is an American citizen. Oh, and by the way, if you're an American citizen, you have the right to bring some families over. Because you're an American citizen, bring some family over, now they're Americans, they're get to be Americans. No, that's not how it works. How is that even possible? That's not in the Constitution. I believe they use the 14th Amendment, I believe it is. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. That states, and that was for the slaves that were now, after the Civil War, that was made for them, saying that they were born here, now they're citizens. They are American citizens, rightfully so. Had nothing to do with anchor babies. And if you don't like the anchor baby term, too bad, because that's what it is, okay? So now we stop that problem. We stop the fact that if you get born here, now you're automatically a citizen and everyone in your family get to come here. End of that. Okay? That stops that problem. So now we stopped coming through. We've stopped all these silly rules. Now let's get into what do we do with them now that they're here. All the people. And I'll end it on that. As soon as I make sure everything's still going good here, give me a little bit of time to check, make sure there's no comments that I'm missing, make sure nobody's calling me any names. You must be racist. Yes, I am racist playing him. Oh, good songs too. Toby Keith, I think that's the song that I played that they said, nope, can't play that song because it might hurt, well, I guess it might hurt Muslims' feelings. Because after 9/11, I think that was Toby Keith's song that I was playing. But anyways, I got it on Facebook. Yes. What do you think of the Mexico agreement? Okay. Let's not get down too much in the mud here. Looks like everything's working. Okay. What do we do with the people that are here? Well, of all the arguments, that is actually a pretty decent argument you can have. Because you have, 10, 15 million kids that were born here. How they lived here for 10, 15 years, going into our education system, illegal, I don't know. It's hard to even imagine that occurred, that we allowed that to happen. They come across, I guess they're considered, because of the anchor baby laws, that they now become citizens of somehow, so now they get to go to education. They don't get a social security number. They don't get naturalized. So how are they still here? But anyways, all right. I'm going off on a tangent here. So everyone who comes across, the first thing you do is you outlaw businesses hiring illegals. Okay? If they come through here on worker permits and get green cards, great. But if you're caught and you have illegal immigrants, they're not immigrants. It's illegal aliens. I'm going right for it. You lose your business license. You're done. If you do that and you hold it and you make sure that happens, majority of illegals are gone. They're going to leave because there's no job. They can't get hired. Every time they commit a crime, they get caught. Boom, they leave. You have conservatives actually arguing that it is absolutely impossible for us to get rid of all the illegal aliens that are here. They want amnesty, just like Reagan did. Okay, fine, Reagan, one of the better conservative presidents out, one of the better ones. I understand. He made his mistakes. He got played by the very smart Democrat Party. We'll do this, just let amnesty come on. He let the amnesty come through. Boom, they instantly stopped everything else. And those are the ones that didn't assimilate. That's the problem that we have now. So no amnesty. Sorry, can't do it again. Not going to happen. We need to stop illegal immigration right now and give us 10 or 15 years of assimilation. Okay? Give that time for the people to assimilate like we did back in the late 1800s and early 1900s. Okay? Give some time for assimilation. Okay? So you stop it, you make it illegal to hire illegal immigrants. If you do that, most of them will start to leave on their own. Let them sign to come in legally. Let them wait and come back legally. That's fine. Now what do you do with the DACA? Okay. Obama, completely unconstitutionally, did DACA, which basically the Dreamers Act. Basically saying that if you stayed here for so many years and you didn't have a criminal record, that you get to stay here. And the boo-hoo cry was, well, what are you going to do with these people? They've been here 10 or 15 years. How can you send them back? They don't even know the country. They don't even know. That's a bunch of hogwash. Very intellectual word to use, I guess. But anyways, it's BS because they have family there. I mean, I doubt if they have to have. Most of the illegals that are here are sending money that they make back to them. Where are they sending the money to? Okay, so yes, they do have families. And I hate to sound heartless on this, and I am willing to give a little bit. It's kind of like the abortion issue. Okay? If they would be willing to, let's make the abortion law where they, at least heartbeat law, like Georgia, I think it is, and some of the southern states are doing right now. If we're willing to do that with abortion, good. I'll take what I can get. On the illegal immigration part of it, I think I can do the same thing. Okay. You've been here for so many years. You've committed no crime. This is what we're going to do. We're going to give you green cards. If you come in and you give them a certain period of time, say, all right. And I know some of my diehard, not really conservatives maybe, but some of the diehard, I can't come up with the word right now, but not libertarians. They'll go crazy on this because they don't want to give anything. And I kind of don't want either. If you're here illegally, go. But I would at least be willing to give some leeway to the children that were born here. I don't know how they prove it, and they've gone through school. They can speak English. They haven't broken any laws. Okay, guess what? We're going to give you this green card, and here are the stipulations. You cannot become an American citizen for maybe ever. I'm good with that. You cannot become an American citizen, but you can have a green card, you can stay here, and you can work, which means you'll never be able to vote. I would be okay with something like that. And if you break the law, I don't care if it's jaywalking. You're gone. You're getting sent away. Okay? You can give them a 15-year thing. If you're perfect for the next 15 years, you don't break any laws, then okay, now we'll let you maybe become a naturalized citizen. As long as you go through the same process and get put in back of the line that all the people that want to come through legally, I'm okay with that. So you give them that green card, whatever you can call it, a green card, you can call it whatever you want. I don't care. But as long as they understand that until you do the paperwork and get put in the back of the line with the people doing it legally, you will not be able to vote in this country. And as long as you have a job and you prove you have a job every month and you come in just like a prisoner on probation, absolutely. And yes, I'll treat you like that, because guess what? Every single illegal alien is a criminal. Every single one of them. Because they broke the law. And most of them, they might not commit horrible crimes like theft or killing people. They might not, okay. But guess what? A lot of them break other laws, such as fake IDs, such as fake social securities. They break many laws. But guess what? They've all broken one law. They've come to this country illegally, and that's against the law. So they're all criminals. So we're going to put you on a probationary period. I'd be okay with that at the minimum. But guess what? You would never get a Democrat politician willing to vote for that. You never would. Why? Because they don't care about the person. They care about the vote. And this is what people who still vote for the Democrat Party need to understand. And I point this out on all my topics, whether it be race or abortion or feminism, whatever the issue is, taxation, doesn't matter. Whatever that issue is, the Democrat Party, especially now because they're so radical. All right, if you're old enough to where you voted for maybe, okay, JFK, fine. They're not JFK no more. Okay? The Republican moderates are JFK. Okay? Now they're Stalin and Mao and Hitler and yeah, Hitler. They are. Not that they want to kill, but in the political sense, where this whole idea of socialism, that's where the party's going towards. They've always gone towards the radical. Uncle Joe, remember Uncle Joe? Remember Hitler was on, I believe it was either Life magazine or People magazine, one of those. They always go to that extreme. That is the Democrat Party. And so they don't care about the illegal immigrant. They don't care about the immigrant. They care about the vote. So if you pass a law that says, okay, we'll give you a right to stay here. You be here legally. You'll go ahead and work, go to school, continue being an active participation in our culture, assimilate, but you can't vote. The Democrats would shut that right down. You could give them all kinds of amnesty. And I wouldn't mind a Republican putting this out there. Put this out there as a bill, okay? Complete amnesty for every single illegal right now in this country if you haven't broken a law. Every single one of them. If you haven't broken a law, we're going to give you amnesty. That doesn't mean you're a citizen, but we're going to give you a green card. And as long as you don't break the law, you get to stay here and work. But you can never vote. You can never vote. Democrats would shut that down in a heartbeat. But I want a Republican, I want a Republican politician. Come on, Ted Cruz. Come on, Lindsey Graham. Now that you're a man. Because McCain left us. But anyways. Put that bill through. Complete amnesty, but you'll never vote. Not going to happen. But I want that to... Maybe some of you Democrat voters out there might actually see that. You might actually see that, hey, maybe this guy who started a podcast, bought some equipment, and just jabbering away, hoping that someday he'll get people to call in and talk to him. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe people don't want to talk. No, but anyways. Now I completely lost my thought. But maybe he was right. Maybe the Democrat Party is fake. Maybe the Democrat Party only cares about getting votes. So please, give me a Republican politician, a conservative politician. Sorry, Republican, they won't do it. Ted Cruz, Lindsey Graham, put that out there as an immigration bill. Please. I want to see what the Democrat Party would do. Although I think I know what they would do. Okay. Well, like I said, things got started really rough. Had to switch my platforms. Next week, as long as I don't work, Sunday, 6 p.m. If you're listening to this on Facebook, please share it. If you have a Democrat that actually likes to talk about the topics and wants to debate and likes that, share it with them. Give them the phone number. Tell them to come on here Sunday at 6 and let's have a conversation. Remember, I'm not in it to argue. I'm not in it to call names. I'm not in it to do anything but have a conversation. Talk about things. Okay? Let's have a discussion about the topics at hand. Okay? Each topic, whether it be race, abortion, feminism, immigration, tax laws, doesn't matter. Because no matter what you bring, I did forget. If you call in and you want to talk about something else, please do. Whatever the topic. Even if it's something kind of personal. Because just remember, and if you end up getting a conversation with a Democrat, just remember, take a deep breath. Whatever the subject is, it doesn't matter what it is. You don't have to have a doctorate's degree or a master's degree or be a professor. Most professors don't have a clue anyways. Critical thinking skills. Question everything. Use logic. Use reason. And the answer is obvious. And if more people who vote Democrat would stop and do that with each one of these topics, I guarantee you 70 to 80% of them would finally see it. And they'd be like, man, why did my dad tell me to vote Democrat? Because Republicans are just horrible people. And all these years I just listened. Or my professor told me, and so therefore that's why I do it. Or my union rep, they kind of force us to do it, and I don't want to make ripples. The media say it got to be true. Just want to talk to them. Anyways, I'm rambling. Share it. If you happen to listen to this on YouTube, go ahead and share it. Subscribe. Notifications so that it comes to you when I get on live. And thank you for watching if you're on this. And let's see if I can actually get this thing to work where I shut this off. Anybody who watched, I appreciate you. I hope you'll come back next week.